So I said, this is what I want, innit? I want the same as my man, or I'm not gonna play for you.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, the guy was like, oh, you're putting pressure on yourself. Like, if you asking for that kind of money, that's applying pressure. I'm thinking, what do you mean, bruv? Good meat is expensive, G.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, fam?
I like.
You know, bro, if you want to go Aldi and buy £4 steak, you can. If you want to go SDK and get Wagyu, you can. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yeah.
There's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I'm your host, Leroy, and welcome back to The Insight. But before we start, could you make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any new content that will be coming your way very soon. But without further ado, enjoy the pod.
Obviously, your time came to an end at Northampton. How was that, taking that, and then obviously moving on to the next step after that?
Do you know what? The way I left Northampton was, I wasn't happy with the way I had to leave, innit? Because I was in a good place when I was there, and then obviously to get paid out wasn't ideal, innit? But it is what it is. So after Aidy Boothroyd, we didn't obviously we didn't win the playoffs. We lost in the playoff final, and then Chris Wilder coming now, and obviously he took over, and I got a new deal in that, and then I was there and playing, and then he was like, it come like January, and no, it was like December. I was on loan, innit?
Yeah.
And I think in December I scored like 5 and 5 for Brackley, innit?
Yeah. I was about to ask you that.
I went on loan to Brackley, and I scored like 5 and 5. So I got called back at the beginning of Jan to go back to Northampton now. Yeah. So I've gone back now, and I started a game in the JPT against Portsmouth away, innit? I've started the game, I've scored like half an hour in with 1-2-1, calm. The next game against Cheltenham away, I was on the bench. This was a league game. I was on the bench. I've come on. I think we were losing 2-0 or something. Ivan's come on before me.
Yeah.
And then I've come on, and then it was me and Ive up front. And I've scored a header from a corner. And then, not Ivan, I scored a header. And then I think I've scored as well.
Okay.
Can't remember who scored the other goal. And then it's 2-2, innit?
Okay.
And then they scored the winner, and then we lost 3-2, and then we went back in the change rooms, and the gaffer was going mad, innit? He was going mental, and he was going mad at me, innit? He was going mad at me. It was directed at me because me and another player were late in the morning to the coach.
Okay.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with the result, fam. Like, me being late for the coach had nothing to do with us losing, but in his head, obviously, when he saw me, he thought, you little fucker, you were late to the coach, and now we lost. So he just took out all his anger on me. And I was thinking, bro, I've come on and I've scored. What do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do? Yeah.
Yeah, what else can I do? But yeah, so I just took it on the chin. Come Monday, he's just like, oh, you get why I went mad at you. Like, you're a young lad, you should be 15 minutes early instead of that. I said, cool. I was never late again after that. And then the following week, obviously I'd been doing well, like scoring goals and playing and scoring for the first team as well.
Yeah.
And then he pulled me into his office, and I remember there was like one other brother in the changing room at the time when he pulled me in it.
Okay.
He's like, oh, come let me talk to you, innit? And the guy's like, oh, will you get a new deal, yeah?
That one's over.
I don't know. Yeah, you know that one. So I've gone in now. As I've gone in the room, obviously, in my head, that brother's planted a seed saying new deal.
Yeah.
I could be getting a new deal here. Yeah. And then, I'm thinking, I'm bust right now. I'm about to get this new deal. It's nice.
Yeah.
Nah, G. I walk in the room now, the gaffer's office. Gaffer's obviously sitting across from me in the table, and his assistant sitting on the left, on the couch, innit? And I'm like, I walk in, I'm like, oh, you're right, Nilly. And I'm like, oh, you're right, girlfriend. But Nilly's like used to love me but he wasn't giving me the same vibes that I normally get off my man, innit? So obviously that threw me off. I'm thinking, what's going on? Like, where's the love today?
It's a setup.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what are you man trying to rush me or? So obviously the gaffer starts talking, and he's just like, oh, there's too many senior pros here on too much money, basically, and you're not going to play, innit, basically, because they're on big money and they have to play regardless how well you do. It don't really matter, innit? Like they're going to play. So I was just like, cool. And then he was just like, yeah, I think the best thing for you to do would be to go and play football and prove yourself, and then you'll be fine, innit?
Yeah.
And I was just like, cool. It don't sound like I really have a choice and anything else to do, innit?
Thanks. How did you take that, like, hearing it? Because, like, not many people know how things really operate, like, in a football club, innit? Like, there's obviously certain players that are getting paid a certain amount, and sometimes they have to play, even, like you said, even if you're banging hella goals, like, just because. Yeah. So, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, man. Obviously, it's a hard one to take, innit? Especially, like, the big thing I would say is we're young men, bro. I was 19, 20. Like, you still don't know who you are. You don't know how to regulate your emotions. You don't know how to take situations. You don't know how to manage anything. You don't even know how to manage yourself properly at that time. You know what I mean? Right. So for you to be thrown in the deep end and be expected to take this kind of disappointment for something you love and you've worked for so hard, it's hard. You know what I mean? Yeah. So obviously it was difficult to take at the time, but in my head, I just thought, all right, cool. Like, I'll just go do my thing and prove you wrong, innit? I'll meet you somewhere else. I'll meet you at the top, G.
No, facts. I hear that. It's really full circle, man. Like, the football game is a very small, and I've definitely realized, like, even playing in America, there's a lot of people that know each other, like, back here. And I'm sure you've seen it in Scotland, where you probably have, like, coaches who are down here or players that you've seen, and you're thinking, like, I was with you, like, not too long ago. What are you doing here?
Yeah, trust me. Even, bro, recently, there was a guy I seen when I came back down south. I seen him out in London somewhere. Yeah. And then I come up here, he signed for a Scottish team. I'm thinking, bro, what are you doing out here, bro?
Trust me.
Yeah, so it's a small world, bro. Literally, it's a small world.
Yeah. So obviously, how was now you've left, obviously unexpectedly. Where did you go afterwards?
I left Northampton and I went to Brackley.
Okay.
But now looking back, my agent at the time didn't look after me properly. He just did the easiest thing for him to do. Because I was on loan at Brackley, he just said, yeah, go there, innit?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And he just kind of said, go there and we'll see what happens and stuff like that. But he didn't really, you know what I mean? He didn't really work for me to put me in the best position, because I've just left a League Two team and I've been doing well. It's not like I wasn't getting a sniff. I wasn't getting anywhere near the first team. I'm in the first team. I've played for the first team. Like, I've done well for the first team. So get me a look in somewhere else. You should be able to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, get me pen to paper at flipping Arsenal, bro. No, I'm just saying, get me an opportunity somewhere, even if it's another League Two team, to say, have a look at him and I can go prove myself and we go from there. But yeah, I've gone to Brackley because I knew the manager and we got on and he was cool, man. Proper cool guy. Yeah. And I've gone there and I stayed there for, I think, 2 seasons.
Yeah, 2 seasons, 2015 to 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, see that, man? Man's there, cuz. Man's there. Man knows my knowledge, cuz.
Obviously.
Yeah, I stayed there for two seasons. And then they had a new manager come in. And he was having me in it, but he wasn't really having me in it.
Yeah.
He had he brought Lee in it.
Okay.
Lee and Lovell in, and like Lee was his son in it, basically. And like, you know, like when gaffers love certain people, like, like, all right, cool, that's your guy, innit? Like, I'm not gonna knock it. I'll just leave, innit? So I've left Brackley because I wasn't really playing. I'd start here and there, and I was just like, bro, this is dead. Like, I'm not doing this. I've left Brackley. I've gone to Hemel for a year, but it's mad because at Hemel, I was meant to be the guy, play every week. But in pre-season, the maddest thing happened. Gone to Hemel pre-season. We've got through pre-season. Okay. Literally, we're meant to go on tour to Ireland for 5 days.
Okay.
Few days before the tour, I get chicken pox. I'm a big age. I got chicken pox, yeah. Bro, imagine, it's mad, bro. It's mad. You couldn't write it. Bro.
No way.
Bro, I get chicken pox now, and bro, I'm mash up. Like, you know, chicken pox can be fatal, innit? Like when you're old, innit? Yeah, so I'm bedbound for like 3 days straight. I'm getting mad headaches. Like, I've never felt pain like it in my life.
Did you have it when you were younger though?
I don't remember, bro. My mum said I had it, but I don't know, innit? I must not have had it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, so I got it, and bro, it was, I don't even know how to explain it. I used to have a picture, but I don't know where the picture's gone now. It was nuts, bro. Like, the way I looked, like my skin, head to toe, my face was just covered in, it was mad, bro. And I was just bedbound. I couldn't move. I couldn't get up. I'd have like spells. So I would have like 20 minutes of not being able to move. I just had to lay in bed like this, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. The worst pain I've ever felt. But then after the chicken pox, now I'm thinking, it's calm. The boys are back on tour.
Okay.
We've got a game on Tuesday, and then the season starts on the Saturday.
Okay.
So come back, play 45 on the Tuesday, and then I'll be ready for the weekend to start the season, innit? Yeah. I don't even have to play start, and even if I'm on the bench, as long as I'm there, innit, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Play the game on Tuesday now, actually. So the game just started now. We're playing. I'm doing my thing. I'm feeling fresh. I can still move. I'm still sharp, innit? I ain't lost too much from the chicken pox.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, calm. I'll be blessed, bro. Bro, literally, the other team get a corner. I'm like on the halfway line, and I'm like, wait to see what happens. The ball gets headed out. As the ball gets headed out, it's coming towards me. But I can feel the centre backs charging me down, isn't it?
Okay.
Like, he's sprinting towards me. So as he comes, I let the ball run across my body, and I turn around.
Yeah.
So as I put my foot down, I roll him, and like I hear like a, you know, like when you click your fingers.
Yeah.
You know how you can hear it inside as it clicks.
Yeah.
So I hear that sound, and in my head I'm thinking, my hips just clicked or something, innit?
Yeah.
And I've rolled him, and I tried to sprint off, but as I tried to sprint off, like, I get this shooting pain up my leg and up my foot, innit? And I'm thinking, what the fuck? And then I passed the ball away, innit? And I've like tried to sprint to the box, and I'm like, bro, I can't run. Like, it just hurts. And I just sit down, innit? I just sit down.
Okay.
And I take my boot off, innit? And as I take my boot off, my foot is just ballooned up, bro. I've broke my 5th metatarsal, and I was out for 2 months. I was like bedbound for 2 months. Then I started doing rehab. Then the PFA had to help me go through George's and all the recovery and all that madness, bruv.
That's mad, because obviously with like bones, that I broke my toe when I was younger, yeah. Like, you can't do anything, you just have to wait until it heals by itself.
Yeah, it was nuts, bro. I was in a boot for time. I couldn't leave the house. I just had to sit there with my foot in. I used to just stay in bed. Man got a bit chubby, lost the abs. Abs were gone. Yeah, it was peak. It was techie. It was a bad time still. It was a bad time.
Shoot, what do you call it? Quick question. How did you take going from playing every day to not playing every day? Like training twice a week competitively?
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Obviously, at first it was hard, innit? Because I've got so much energy. I just wanted to get out, go gym, do something, go work, whatever. But like after a while, you come to terms with it, and you just, I don't know. I don't know. I came to terms with it, and I just started being proactive in the house, innit? So I started reading stuff and educating myself on things that I was interested in and stuff like that. But obviously, it doesn't take away from the fact that you miss playing football, and that's what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But but after a while, you come to terms with it, and you have to just accept it.
It's a mad road, though.
Boy.
Yeah, I hear that. So obviously after Hemel, you've gone, like so you only stayed there, and then what did you do afterwards? Like after?
Oh, so obviously I broke my foot now.
Yeah.
I was out for the first half of the season, and then I came back the second half of the season, and I played like 19 games, and I scored like 11 goals. And then in the summer, I've gone back into Hemel to have a meeting with them, and obviously I'm like, nah, like I want the money I'm valued for, innit? Like the people here, you're paying more than me, and I'm doing more than them. How does that work? Like there was another striker there, and they were paying him more than me, and I'm thinking, you're paying my man rare, and I'm getting this, but I'm playing week in, week out. I'm winning you man games, and he's just having a cameo role. But because I'm young, you think I'm just gonna accept it.
That's true.
Nah, bro. So I said, this is what I want, innit? I want the same as my man, or I'm not gonna play for you.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, the guy was like, oh, you're putting pressure on yourself. Like if you asking for that kind of money, that's applying pressure. I'm thinking, what do you mean, bruv? Good meat is expensive, G.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, fam?
I lie.
You know, bro, if you want to go Aldi and buy £4 steak, you can. If you want to go SDK and get Wagyu, you can. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yeah.
There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? So I said, bro, if you're not going to pay me, I'm not going to play for you. Simple. And then he was like, oh, I'll speak to the chairman, rare. But at the same time, St. Albans said, come and see us, innit?
Okay.
Went to see them. They were like, calm. You just come here and be our top earner. And I was like, calm. But it wasn't like, I don't want it to come out like I was there for the peace. I wasn't there for the peace. I wanted to be somewhere I was actually valued. Do you get me? Not somewhere where someone was taking advantage of me and saying, you're young, you don't really understand the game. I'll give you this, just play, innit? You just worry about playing. No, bro. Like, I'm not an idiot. Like, at that point, I was starting to see
how things operate
was and how people are working in it and how, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've ended up going to St. Albans, and I've done well for them. And I played mostly every game, and the manager was legendary. He was a cool guy, man. A bit old school, innit? But he was cool, man.
Is it the same manager that's there right now?
Yeah. So that I enjoyed St. Albans, man, and I played with Dean Snedker, who obviously I was at Northampton with, so it was good to rekindle that.
Yeah, it's mad how you just meet each other at different times in the journey, innit?
Yeah, man. So that was good, man. The gaffer's there. I meet everyone, meet the chairman. We're talking. I go out, I train with the first team. Bruv, when I tell you, it was so intense. I was just thinking, this is mad. but it was intense. Like the warm up was intense.
Okay.
The passing was intense.
Yeah,
The rock, bruv, I felt like the tempo was mad. Bro, the tempo was mad. Fam. I was thinking, hey, I might not be calm.